Hey, what is going on YouTube? Thank you for tuning in to Rules for Rebels. Today we're going to be going through my Blockfolio watch list, looking at some of the coins I'm tracking. If you watch these videos or if you follow these videos from me, you may see some things that have been taken off my watch list. You may see some things that have come back on. But just going to kind of talk about a few coins, give kind of my price targets and some of the ones I'm bullish on, and touch on some of the other ones we've been right about, like Lisk. I had called triple digits by the end of the year, optimistically, at least double digits. In the past few weeks, we've had a run up from maybe 450 up to 848, 862 looks like was the high. But let's start at the top here. So we have Ardor. Ardor is an interesting project. I picked some up at 18 cents, some at 20 cents, and some more at 22. I'm pretty bullish on this coin. I think this coin could go on a run. My real plan, or at the very least, though, is I think if you buy in at 19, 20, 21, 22, I think you can easily see some runs up to 25, 26, 27. And I know a lot of times people shy away from cheap coins or think every cheap coin is a shit coin or think you have to buy more expensive coins to make money. But one thing you always got to kind of keep in mind is a coin that goes from 20 cents to 22 cents, I mean, that's a 10% gain. So that's the same thing as a coin going from $2,000 to $2,200, or, you know what I mean? It's all about percentages. It doesn't really matter if the coin's only going up 2 cents. Percentage-wise, you're still making the same amount of money. So I'm kind of swing trading Ardor, and then whatever profits I make off, these 20 to 25 cent flips or whatever it may be, I let that ride in the coin. So, we're kind of playing with the house's money there. ARK, I was really bullish on ARK for a while. I still think ARK is going to be over $4 by the end of the year. But ARK and Lisk are very similar projects, and it seems like Lisk is the one that's taking off. There's even a couple other projects that are very similar to these. If you can get ARK in the low threes, I think by the end of the year we're going to be up over $4 on that one. The BAT token, Basic Attention Token. This is one that I really don't understand why it's struggling so much. Let's try to take a look at like the month-long chart here, and you guys will see kind of the slide from being pretty high. So this one traditionally had been trading around, I want to say, about 24 cents. BAT is the Basic Attention Token. It's a token behind the Brave browser. I'm really kind of surprised that this coin is not doing better. So a lot of the coins, tokens, cryptocurrencies out there that we, invest in, they don't even have live projects, right? They're nothing more than an idea. A lot of them have those that do have live projects, they're all oftentimes very glitchy, don't work very well, etc. The Brave browser, man, I mean, you can download it on your phone right now. You can download it on your computer. It works flawlessly. It blocks ads. It keeps all your information private. The browsing experience is faster, and at the end of the day, it'll tell you how much time they saved you by blocking ads and things like that. So I believe it's the developer from Firefox, as well as a developer who created Java, who are behind this one. Obviously, Firefox managed to steal a lot of the browser users from, Internet Explorer, Chrome, etc. So, I mean, the guy has a proven track record of, rolling out successful browsers. So I'm really surprised to see this coin not doing good. I've lost almost half my value in this coin. I don't feel like selling at a loss. I'm just kind of sitting on it. This kind of brings up one interesting thing. I think thinking about making a video on this topic, but how do you guys view your profits, or how do you guys track your profits, right? So I think general consensus, or most people say, well, you want to earn Bitcoin, right? So if you buy an altcoin for 0.01 Bitcoin, you want to be able to sell it for 0.02 Bitcoin, right? You want to increase your Bitcoin holdings. However, when Bitcoin was going on this huge run from, 3,200 or 4,000 or 5,000 up to 7,000, Bitcoin was increasing in value faster than any of the altcoins could for the most part. So a lot of times when I was swapping an altcoin back into Bitcoin, even though I'm coming out with less Bitcoin, if you actually look at the US dollars or actually look at the fiat, you're actually making money, right? Because even though you're getting less Bitcoin when you trade back into Bitcoin, that Bitcoin is worth more money. So it's kind of a mindfuck in terms of trying to wrap your head around profits, right? I had a hard time wrapping my head around like trading pairs and when are you actually making money, and it was a big enough leap to say, okay, I want more Bitcoin on each trade. But then as I started thinking about it, if Bitcoin is going up in value, most of the time, most of these altcoins can't keep up with the pace of Bitcoin. So it may look to you like you're losing, but in reality, if Bitcoin price has surged, you actually potentially are making more US dollars than you started with. So I was just kind of curious how you guys view profits, how you guys track your profits and losses, etc. So drop a comment below, let me know about that. Bitcoin Cash, man, Bitcoin Cash, as you guys can see here, went on a steep run recently. I've never, I sold off my Bitcoin Cash pretty early on for about 600 a coin. Sort of kicked myself a little bit because at various times I could have got over 1,000 for it. I think the recent run up was kind of price manipulation. I had kind of said from the start, I didn't think that SegWit 2x was going to gain that much traction or have that much support. I'd been kind of teetering on the fence about selling off my futures. Didn't wind up doing it. The day that I finally brought my Trezor into my office and was about to sell my futures on BTC, literally within an hour of me about to do it, the price just crashed, SegWit 2x was canceled, etc. And then I think, I don't know, this is just my opinion. I think that whole thing was a big scheme. I think they never had any intention of doing it. I think they wanted to run up the futures market, cash out at the high point of 1,500 bucks or whatever it was. It was kind of interesting to me that after the futures market hit its peak, as soon as it started to decline, right then that's when they call off the SegWit 2x fork. So I know there's a company called BitPico who was thinking about moving forward with it anyhow. I think that should be today or tomorrow. I think it's block 445082 or something like that. So most of the people behind it had left. Somebody says they're still going to go ahead with it. Whether that'll happen, I'm not really sure. More news in crypto too. Looks like Trezor is going to be supporting Bitcoin Gold. I was meaning to make a video kind of sharing about that. I think Bitcoin Cash is going to either kind of trade sideways or it's been on kind of a steady decline. If we look at the, should we look at like the 3-month chart or let's look at like a month chart. Let's look at a week chart. I was looking at this last night with my business partner. We were kind of, if you look at here, right, we peaked, or I guess you can't see my finger on the chart, but if you look at the peak and the tall red skinny candle, it we have peaks and valleys, and if you notice, every peak after the last seems to be smaller and smaller and smaller. So to me, this kind of signifies a downtrend. I think we're going to either trade sideways or go down on Bitcoin Cash, and I think if Bitcoin Cash breaks the $1,000 mark, I think it's going to be a slide down to maybe $400 to $600. I'm staying away from this one. I have a buddy who loves this coin who's actually making a decent amount of money off it, but I worry that he's going to be a bag holder, and I'm scared to touch Bitcoin Cash at these prices. Bitcoin, cool to see Bitcoin's made a little bit of a run. If we look at the week chart, right, with steady decline, we're making our way back up. I think Bitcoin in the next week or two could wind up stabilizing around $7,600. And it's been announced that the second week in December, the CME or Chicago Mercantile Exchange is going to begin trading Bitcoin futures. Now, there's not going to be any Bitcoin involved, and I forget the type of future, but with some futures, you could potentially trade cattle futures, and somebody could have to deliver cattle to your door. Now, that rarely happens, right? They would rather pay you fiat, but I believe the type of futures market this is, nobody's actually going to be physically dealing in Bitcoin. So this isn't necessarily going to put cash into the Bitcoin market. However, I think it will bring it to a lot of people's attention. A lot of questions about like what it means. Like, is that going to drive Bitcoin price down? Is it going to run it up? Is it going to bring in more volatility, create less volatility? I think we're going to see a huge run up as soon as it hits the futures market. And I don't believe you can naked short. I think you basically need money behind your positions, so people can't get that crazy with it. But will we see 8,000 before the end of the year? Will we see 10,000 before the end of the year? Curious to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below. Moving on, Ethereum. Nice to see Ethereum finally do something. Apparently, Ethereum ran up to 368 the other day. I've been most of my, I'm sitting pretty good on crypto, so basically I'm just like dollar cost averaging maybe 50 bucks a week in Ethereum, 50 bucks a week in Litecoin, and for a while I was doing 200 into Bitcoin. I think I've stalled that one, but yeah, Bitcoin, Ethereum for the longest time was stuck at 285, 290. sitting around 300. Then they had that whole hack thing, which drove the price down a bit. But Ethereum seems to be on a run. I think we could see $400 before the end of the year. And one kind of funny thing about the crypto markets, to go from 300 to 400, well, that's like a 25%. Actually, that's more than a 25% gain. And I was mentioning that to a buddy, and my buddy's like, "Oh, that's peanuts. That's lunch money." Crypto has kind of spoiled us. I made a video about this the other day. Like, has crypto ruined our kind of respect for money or respect for like normal investment gains? But if Ethereum can run up to 400, I'd be thrilled by that. I'm very bullish on Ethereum for the long term. I still think this is a good entry point, but I mean, if you can catch a dip, that's always good as well. Factom, I bought into the hype. I do think Factom's a good coin. I think it should be sitting around $25 to $30. I kind of bought into the hype back when I think it may have been as high as like 29 bucks. I'm in at various positions from like 17 up to $30. I want to say it's gone up to as high as $30. Doesn't seem to be doing much. Was really hurting for a while. I think it might have made it down to even like 10 bucks or so. Let's look at the 30-day chart here. Okay, so it's had a little bit of a run up. I'm not back into this one. This one is on my radar. I do feel like if you get it at 15 or 16 bucks, it has a chance to kind of double up, possibly before the end of the year, definitely within the next 6 months, but it's just not one that I'm messing with right now. Feathercoin has kind of recently come on my radar, so I really don't know that much about Feathercoin. In the grand scheme of things, it's just another currency, right? It's just another Bitcoin, another Vertcoin, another whatever, but I don't think it has that much going for it. This coin was one of the earlier coins from back in the early days of Bitcoin. I think it was one of the first cryptocurrencies, one of the earlier ones. And it's just recently kind of started making a resurgence. I'm not really sure why. You can catch this one at 9 cents and run it up to 11, 12 cents, which again, I know a lot of you guys are like, who wants to make 2 pennies? Well, guess what? 2 pennies on a 9-cent coin is, like 30, I don't know, 27%, 30%, something like that. So if I can catch this one at 9, I may try to, it's been on my radar for a while. I haven't bought it yet. I may try to swing trade this one from like 9 to 11, 9 to 12, 9 to 11, 9 to 12, make some money that way. Golem, man, Golem's a turd. I think it's a decent project. I used to be very bullish on it, but man, I've been sitting on a pretty large loss of this one for quite some time. If we look at like the year chart, anyhow, you guys can kind of see the slide that's happened with this one. I wound up selling off my Golem for a loss. Even though it looked like a huge loss because Bitcoin had gained a lot, it wasn't as bad as it looks. But yeah, I sold this one off for a pretty hefty loss, and I'm just glad to be done with it. I'll probably remove this from my watch list and not even look at it anymore. Lisk. So a couple weeks ago, probably back in about a week into October. Lisk was trading at, I don't know, anywhere from $4 to $5, probably around $4.50 to $5. Told you guys I thought this one could triple up before the end of the year. A lot of interesting announcements coming, a rebranding coming. If you can look here, when we look at kind of the peaks here, each peak is going higher than the next as opposed to lower than the next. To me, that's kind of a good signal. If we look at the month-long chart, we're on kind of a steady climb. There might be a little bit of a pullback here. It's risen pretty quickly. But I think, obviously I was telling everybody to get Lisk at I said under 5, it's a steal. At 450, even better. I don't want to say I wouldn't touch it here because I still think it's going higher. But when you have the opportunity to get in a coin cheaper and then you wind up paying $3, $4 more, it can sometimes hurt. So make your own decisions on that one. Litecoin, Litecoin, it's had a couple runs recently. I guess within the past day it was up to 69. I have a lot of Litecoins. Litecoin is probably one of my favorite coins, even though it frustrates me. It doesn't move as much as I'd like it to, and even when it goes on runs, it always seems to kind of pull back to that $50, $55 mark. But I'm very bullish on Litecoin. I've always said I want to have 84 Litecoins, so that I own 1/1,000,000th of the currency. And right now I'm sitting on quite a bit more than that. So the excess I want to use to swing trade. If I want to use to take some profits along the way, but I would never want to drop below 84. earlier I had thought, man, Litecoin has to hit 100 by the end of the year. I don't know that that's going to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if we're, you know, sitting above $70 by the end of the year in Litecoin. Metal, you know, metal has been doing rough, right? I bought metal at, I don't know, I think I bought it at 8, rode it up to, I don't know, 12, 13, something like that. And it really, when the whole fork was being talked about and all the alts crashed, this was one of the ones that crashed, and I don't think it's ever going to come back. I guess I shouldn't say happily, but I somewhat happily sold this one for a loss, and I'm glad to be done with it. I still kind of watch it, but I don't think I'll ever get back into this one. NAV coin, I am incredibly bullish on NAV coin. So I've been messing with NAV coin since, you know, under 50 cents. I love the coin. I mean, I know a lot of people don't actually check out the projects behind coin, but go to NAV's website. NAV has a fantastic website. They really explain the coin well. Their wallet is very user-friendly and easy to use. It's not glitchy. I think the privacy coins are going to be going on a run. So just recently we had the IRS trying to dig back into Coinbase and get Coinbase records. And I believe the other day a judge announced that he was actually kind of favoring the IRS in this matter, which is really kind of screwed up. However, nonetheless, I think privacy coins are going to go on a run. Privacy coins lately have been running up a little bit. I think because there are no deep web drug marketplaces and because there hasn't really been any privacy concerns like the IRS tracking people's Bitcoin payments, I think privacy coins have a lot more going for them than that. But in terms of like the masses of people seem to only get interested in them when there's a good place to buy weed online or when there's, you know, talk about taking some privacy away from us. So, I think this Coinbase thing is only going to intensify. I think privacy coins like Zcash, Dash, Monero, Navcoin, Pivx, Aeon, and others are going to go on a run. I'm still sitting in on some of my cheap Navcoin. I was buying some at like 74 to 78 cents was when I really kind of started loading up. And I bought a little bit the other day at 84 cents. So I want to try to get a couple thousand NAV. You can actually stake NAV, which means if you hold your NAV in your wallet and turn it on staking mode, you can earn 5%. I believe eventually that will go down to 4%, but, you know, earn yourself a nice little dividend for sitting on NAV. But yeah, check out their website. Their website has an excellent FAQ section. The wallet's very easy to use. It kind of reminds me of Neo. Neo has probably one of my favorite wallets out there. There's like literally 2 features on it. There's like send, receive. You have a public key and a private key. It's very simple. The way NAV works, you actually download a file onto your computer. That's your wallet. You can set a passphrase. But yeah, the website's great. It's intuitive. You can do private transactions or not do private transactions. A whole lot of stuff going on with NAV. Neo, I really like Neo. A while back, I was heavily invested in Neo. When China, quote unquote, shut down the exchanges or whatever happened, Neo's kind of a Chinese coin, so I was kind of worried that was going to affect it. Ever since I've kind of stayed away from it. If I could catch Neo in the, I don't know, say under $25, I'd definitely be a buyer. I don't know that I'm going to touch it at 30 or higher. However, like I said, if you haven't checked out Neo's wallet, download it, check it out. It's probably one of my favorite wallets on the market. It actually works. It doesn't glitch. It's very user-friendly. It's very intuitive. And you can earn gas by holding in your Neo wallet. I forget exactly how gas is calculated and earned. You're not making a ton of money, but, you know, free money is free money, right? Let's see. Omize Go. You know, I was really bullish on Omize Go. I was in from 8, buying all the way up till 12 or 13. When alts got hit, Omize Go got hit really hard. It's slowly started to make a comeback, but I've been kind of scared. You know, once I lose a lot on a coin, I'm kind of scared to go back to it. I know there was an announcement a while back that McDonald's in Thailand is accepting Omize Go. Omize Go, I think, is working with some different governments around the world. So, it's actually a great price right now. I'm just kind of scared to touch it. Pay, or the 10x token, man, that one got hit really hard as well. I forget actually where I bought this one, but I know I sold this one for a loss. Not a huge loss, but did wind up selling this one for a loss. Was just kind of sick of sitting on it. So 10x has like a crypto debit card. Here's my one issue with a lot of these crypto debit cards is there's like one company who issues them all. I think Visa and MasterCard are, they're operating in kind of a gray area. If any of them lose their ability to work with Visa or MasterCard, or even this company out of, I forget what country the company who issues the debit cards is from, but all these debit cards could come crashing down. So I'm staying away from 10x. I don't know why I added Pink onto my radar. So I thought Pink was that escort coin. the coin for escorts. They're going to make like a Tinder type thing. This pink coin, it actually has something to do with diamonds. So I heard about pink a while back. I added it to my watch list. It's yeah, this coin shouldn't even be on my list. I think the real pink coin hasn't even ICO'd yet. Qdom, don't know that much about the project. I know a lot of people are really bullish on it. Added it to my watch list, was meaning to learn a little bit more about it. Don't have too much to say on that one. If any of you guys want to drop a comment and tell me a little bit about it, or if you like it, don't like it, do that. Red coin's one I've been talking about for a while. I bought 100,000 red coins a while back for about $100. Their wallet's really glitchy, which is a really bad sign to me. But I do like the concept, right? The concept is like peer-to-peer tipping, sort of. I've talked about it before, but hypothetically, if you wanted to tip me, Rules for Rebels, you could send money essentially to the name Rules for Rebels. And even if I don't have a wallet today, if a year from now I go sign up for a wallet, those coins you sent me would be waiting for me. Obviously, we see sites like Steem popping up. There's 2 or 3 other you know, kind of blockchain-based social media type sites. Redcoin is supposed to come out with something called the Red ID before the end of the year, and if that comes out, I think this could rise in price. So I think I sold off like 50,000. I still got the rest. If we catch a dip, I may buy more into that. A lot of people would probably call Redcoin a shit coin. It is a risky coin, but yeah, heck, for $100, I think there might be. I think there's more upside than downside. If I lose $100, so be it. Rise, I don't know that much about the project, but it regularly runs from 20 or 25 cents up to 36 cents, 40 cents. I think a while back it might even ran up to 66 cents. On one of the recent run-ups, I forgot that I was even holding it. And when it spiked, my business partner was talking about it. And I didn't even know at the time I had it. And so by the time I realized I had it, I was like, oh man, I could have sold that for like triple the money. Saya coin, garbage. I know a lot of people love Saya coin. I bought in heavy in the early days. Or I shouldn't say early days, but I bought in heavy quite a while back. And was really kind of excited about the project, but it never really does anything. I think I've pulled all my money out of Saya coin at a loss. And I'm probably not going to be touching that one again. Steem, it's good to see Steem finally making a comeback. I was kind of dollar cost averaging on Steem all the way from like $1.15 down to, I don't know, 84 cents. It looks like we recently hit a high of 106. One thing about Steem is because Steem is the coin behind Steemit, there's an active community. People, you know, there's an actual use for the coin. There's an actual community behind the coin. I was getting a little bit worried just because Steem price was falling a lot, and even a lot of the long-term Steem members seem to be kind of pretty frustrated recently by the recent glitches, as well as there's a lot of people who've been on Steem for a while who put in a lot of time and effort on Steemit and aren't really earning a lot of money. I'm one of them. I mean, I haven't been on it as long as a lot of people, but I've been on Steemit since like June. I've been pretty consistent on there, and I'm making like 25 cents a post. So, you know, it's easy to see how people fall off there. I know I brought a lot of you guys over to Steemit, and I still see Mitchy Boy over there, Vogel, trying to comments every now and again. What's his name? Geek Hustle, Young from Merch Minds is over there. Occasionally he'll comment on some of my stuff, but I see a lot of people kind of losing steam, pardon the pun. But I do think this one will run back up to $1.50. I think there's an opportunity to make some money. I'm sitting on quite a bit of Steem, and one good thing about Steem, like normally if you're sitting on a loss with a coin, you just have to sit on it, right, until it comes back, or you have to sell it at a loss. Well, with Steem, you can send it over to your Steemit account. I actually made a video. I'm not sure when I'm going to release this video, but either shortly before or shortly after this video, showing you guys how to send your Steem from Bittrex to your Steemit account. And if you send it to your Steemit account, you can either put it in savings and earn 10% interest, which technically speaking, you're not earning because there's also 10% inflation, so you're kind of just staying the same. But the other thing you can do is power up, and then it gives your upvotes and your posts more earning power, and you earn more money. So at least your money's doing something for you. At least your Steem is doing something for you. Let's see, Vertcoin. I like Vertcoin. I think Vertcoin could be over $10 by the end of the year. There's like a lot of shills and a lot of people really kind of pumping this one on Reddit and stuff like that. Vertcoin isn't really like that unique. It doesn't have that much more going for it than Bitcoin or Litecoin or anything else, but it does have a strong community. People seem to like it. I think that could run over $10 by the end of the year, if not within the next 6 months. As far as an entry point, You know, I really don't like touching it this high. If I can pick up some more Vertcoin under $4, I think I'll probably do it. Stellar Lumens, or I guess I skipped one. XCM, New Economy Movement. I really like that one. It was up at, I think, above 30 cents for a while. It got down pretty low. I think it might have gone down as low as like 14 cents back when all the alts were crashing. You can see it's kind of making its way back up, pulled back a little bit. I think anything 20 cents or under for XCM. I do think this is a longer term coin. I don't necessarily think we're going to be back to 30 cents super soon. But if any of you guys are looking for a long term play and a good project, it's got a good market cap. I think it's like a number 7, number 8 coin on Coin Market Cap. I don't know. I like XCM. It never makes me a ton of money. I do sometimes swing trade it a little bit. But this is a kind of a long-term one I'm bullish on, so I sit on a bunch of these coins and slowly kind of buy more over time. Stellar Lumens, I've caught a couple pumps. I think I tripled up on that one a couple weeks back. I don't know that much about it. It's a project somewhat similar to Ripple. Back when Ripple was being talked about a lot and had a little run-up, this one kind of followed and tripled up in value. Yeah, it's kind of... Quit fucking texting me. That's kind of all I have to say on that one. I got to get running here. Monero, again, you know, I bought some Monero at like 130, 140, 150. Then it went down to like 80. I was like cursing my buddy for getting me into Monero. I know a lot of people like Monero. When you look at Monero and Dash does a lot better job of marketing than Monero. I actually kind of prefer Monero to Dash, but Dash is marketers, Monero is like mathematicians. Monero is probably the better coin, but as we see a lot of times, it's not necessarily the best coin that winds up winning or that has the best value. It tends to be the coin that has the best marketing. So I think Monero definitely has to do a better job of marketing, although again, with this whole IRS Coinbase thing, I think people are going to have a resurgence of interest in the privacy coins. I think the privacy coins are going to go on a run, and I have a price target of Monero for over $150 before the end of the year. And then Ripple, I don't have much to say about Ripple. Everyone's in love with Ripple. It's got a high market cap. I don't like it. It never really does anything. I bought in at the highs. And yeah, I guess that's kind of really all I have to say. We've run kind of long here. I just wanted to kind of give you guys a run through. It's been a while since I've done this. I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on these coins. Two other coins that have just kind of come on my radar. I really don't know what to think yet, but Aeon, I believe, is a cryptocurrency for your phone. It's like basically mobile privacy payments from my understanding, and I think it's pretty easy to mine. I don't have much experience mining, but I was going to look into potentially mining that one. And then another one is Electroneum. Now, I think Electroneum may be a pump, and I honestly don't know enough about it to really say anything one way or the other, but a lot of you guys have been asking me about Electroneum. Briefly looked into it. I honestly don't know that much about it, but I think you can mine with a mobile phone, and I think one of the things behind the project was to kind of decentralize the mining and allow like anybody with a normal computer to mine. So I was going to look into, you know, I got a Mac computer that I don't really use, and I have free electricity at my office. So if it's easy enough to set up, I was going to look into doing some mining. But yeah, that's kind of my price targets for some of these coins. That's kind of my thoughts on some of these coins. If you guys have any thoughts, if there's coins you like, etc., drop a comment in the comment section below. Always curious to hear what you guys have to say. Thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. If you got friends into crypto, feel free to share it with them. If you're not subscribed, subscribe and ring that bell, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.